Hey bro, I got a question for you. Are you fine living like this? Is this what you want for yourself? Do you waste your time or do you use it effectively? Do you vape, smoke weed, drink alcohol, play video games, watch porn, scroll on TikTok for 8 hours, or do you actually use your time? Because from where I stand, a lot of other guys in our age group certainly do think that living like that is fine. But you clicked on this video for a reason. And if I was to guess, I think that reason is because you know that you're meant for more and you don't want to live like this. You know that you're not the best version of yourself and you want to improve, but just don't know how. And for that, I can respect you, but that doesn't make you special. And the reason why it doesn't make you special is because I just know so many other guys that just talk about self-improvement and becoming better, but they either just talk about it or they just start and then after a week they quit. And the reason why I believe most people quit is because the self-improvement journey is way too hard. It's too hard to go to the gym when you can play video games. It's too hard to read a life-changing book when you can just scroll on TikTok for 6 hours. It's too hard to eat healthy when junk food just tastes so good. Now, the goal of this video is to give you the steps that you can take today to start improving yourself. In this video, I will give you an action plan of things that you can start putting into action immediately to start improving yourself. But before I can do that, I need you to promise me that after watching this video, you're actually gonna take what I give you and you're gonna start using it. Because if you just watch self-improvement videos just for the sake of watching self-improvement videos, then I'm sorry, but you've just wasted your time. Moving on, here's the first thing that you could do to start improving yourself today. The first thing you could do to start improving yourself is to get a good night's sleep. If you're waking up tired, that's a problem. When you're just starting out in your self-improvement, you need to be well rested. Trust me, the difference between a night where you wake up tired and a night when you wake up full of energy is night and day. Also, if you wake up tired, that pretty much defeats the whole purpose of sleep, to get you rested and recharged. When you wake up full of energy, that energy just gives you that drive to be better and to start conquering. So, to get a good night's sleep, a good rule of thumb is to cut out all blue light about 1 hour before going to bed, and also to aim for about 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Now, 8 to 9 hours of sleep, not I'll go to bed at 12 and wake up at 8. You might think that that's 8 hours, but you're not taking into account the time that it's going to take you to actually fall asleep. Because if you're used to going to sleep at 3 in the morning, then it'll be difficult for you to go to sleep, let's say at 11. And if you're used to going to sleep late, it might take you an hour or maybe even over an hour to fall asleep. So sleep is the first thing that you can do tonight to start improving yourself. Now, while we're on the topic of sleep, the next thing that you could do tonight to start improving yourself is to read a good book. Yup, reading books is essential to improving yourself. Books are so important because of the valuable information that are condensed in these little pieces of stacked paper. Did you know that about 85% of billionaires read? And I think that's for good reason. If you're just starting out and you don't know what book to read, I'd recommend starting off with The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. This book is kind of what got me into self-improvement and what has helped me become what I am today. Or another book that you can read is The Compound Effect. It's very similar to The Slight Edge, but it's just the principles explained in it are a little bit different. Now, if you've never been a reader, then it'll be pretty difficult for you to sit down and even read for 5 to 15 minutes or 5 to 10 pages. And the reason why it'll be hard is because your brain will not get any dopamine from reading a book because it's such a boring activity opposed to something like scrolling on TikTok or playing video games. Reading a book will also help you focus on one task without getting any instant gratification from it. So before you go to sleep tonight, make sure to read a book and to train yourself to start focusing on a task for longer than 10 minutes. That's not scrolling on TikTok or playing video games. Now, the next step that you can take tonight to start improving yourself is to start exercising daily. And I'm not talking about getting a gym membership. I'm just talking about getting up off of your ass and starting to move. There are a plethora of at-home workouts that you could do right now to start getting into shape. However, a gym membership would help if you're trying to build muscle opposed to just getting in shape. Working out will have crazy benefits for your mental and physical health. The physical benefits are pretty obvious. You'll be less fat and a lot more lean. But the mental aspects of going to the gym are also pretty underrated. You'll be a lot more confident, your mood will skyrocket, you'll build discipline, and you'll just feel a lot better about yourself. When I saw progress in the gym, I gained so much more confidence because I started to actually like the way I looked. And if you don't like the way you look, chances are you probably lack confidence, and you also probably lack the drive to improve yourself. You will bullshit yourself about how self-improvement is not for you and it's too hard, but that all comes from the mental aspect because you probably are just not confident enough. Now, please, if you were to take home just one idea from this video, let it be this one, because going to the gym is just so important, and that's how a lot of people start, and that's for good reason. Me, I started with the gym and the book. By the way, if you're hesitant about getting a gym membership because you think that you'll get shamed for the way you look or people will make fun of you, please understand that the gym is a very friendly environment, and a lot of gym bros will actually encourage you to keep on going and to improve yourself. Everybody starts somewhere, and starting from a bad spot is just infinitely times better than not starting at all. Moving on, the next step that you could take tonight to start improving yourself is to cut down your social media and video game consumption. Because if you're spending 4 hours on video games and another 6 on TikTok, then you're wasting a big chunk of your day. Now, I want you to understand that if you're used to spending 10 hours watching a screen, then it will take time for you to cut it down. The way I was able to cut my screen time was through gradual progression. So just cutting down every day by 10, 15, 20 minutes until I eventually got to my goal, which was 1 hour a day of screen time. If you're on your phone a lot or you play a lot of video games because you're bored or there's nothing to do, you need to start taking that time that you put into those activities and start to use them on actual things that can move the needle forward for you. For example, like going to the gym and exercising or reading a book. And yes, it is going to be hard for you to break the old habits. It's going to be hard for you to change your routine of time wasting. And it will be very difficult to start doing productive things instead of scrolling on TikTok or playing video games. But this is exactly what self-improvement is about. Doing the hard things to improve yourself. This is what makes self-improvement so worth it. It's like that one Andrew Tate quote, "Would a six-pack be valuable if everybody had it? Of course not. It would just be considered normal." But the reason why a six-pack is so valuable is because so few people have it. And the reason why so few people have it is because it's very difficult to get one. It's a lot easier to eat junk food than to count your macros. And it's also so much easier to just play video games at home or watch Netflix instead of training hard at the gym. And that's exactly what makes six-packs so valuable and their owners very proud. It's because they chose the hard path instead of the easy one. This principle also applies to self-improvement, choosing the hard path to self-actualization rather than the easy path to meaningless existence. On that note, I would like to finish up this video. I gave you the steps that you could take today to start improving yourself. Now, obviously there are a lot more things that go into this self-improvement journey, but I left them out because they'll be a little bit more difficult to implement as a complete beginner. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe.